Hello, everybody, and welcome along to our House of League predictions episode. We are back once again, the 6 out of 6 brigade, as I think we're going to start calling ourselves.
We are absolutely in no position to say that this week. We apologise.
The less said about
rugby league
the less said about last week, the better. And well played, St. Helens and Tom Maguire and his team.
Yes, and well played, Wakefield, on causing a few surprises there. We said it wouldn't be a surprise, but anyway, we got a few wrong last week. But we're coming back strong. We're coming back with 6 out of 6 this week. I can feel it in my bones. I've had a look, and for some reason, there's no Thursday game. I don't know what that is all about.
I don't know.
No?
Don't know.
But I think, if I was right, I think the whole KR Wakefield game is the only game between two sides that actually go in having won the week before, which makes it a little bit more intriguing. But I'm not going to start with that. I'm going to start with the game of the round, which is 4th place Leeds, who lost, surprisingly, to St. Helens, against the now 3rd placed Leigh Leopards, who, unsurprisingly, beat Catalans. Really intriguing one here. I think on the previous main show, you said you think on the day Leigh are a better side than Leeds, but Leeds are more consistent and will finish higher because of that, which makes it even more, if that's right, and I'm not saying you're wrong, makes it even more intriguing because we don't know what's going to turn out. How do you see this one, and how do you begin to call this, knowing that your reputation is on the line after a horror show last week? You've got to lead off. You're the first batter. We need a lead-off run. Where are you going?
Well, don't know now. Best give it a think.
Big pressure.
I still don't think Leigh were fantastic against
Catalans. Didn't need to be, though, did they?
No, they didn't. They didn't, but they beat them by 12 points, 14 points. If you compare where Catalans have been in terms of the score lines, and Catalans were better. Let's credit where credit's due. I'm going to go Leeds. I'm going to go Leeds because while they were poor against Saints, that was their first poor performance for quite some time. And the way that Brad Arthur spoke, he was quite angry, wasn't he, after the game? He felt their attitude was poor. Sometimes I think when a team hasn't been used to winning and starts winning, you can have that, where you get a little bit complacent and forget what you've got to do.
Everyone was expecting them to win.
Exactly.
You get that mindset of, we've got this.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a rocket up them rather than a setback, like a long-term setback. And Leigh, I stand by it. If both teams play 10 out of 10, Leigh win. But I don't think they've been there for a while. So, I won't be surprised either way. But I'll go, I think Leeds is the safer bet.
Joshua?
Yeah, I expect Leeds Rhinos to bounce back for every reason Matt said. They were just poor against St. Helens, and you'd expect them to have a pretty tough week of training under Brad Arthur. Now, I'm not ruling out Leigh Leopards. I think at their best, they're fantastic, not only for results, but and to watch. So I wouldn't be surprised if Leopards win. I'm not sure about their TikTok, so I'm quite scared that we're all going against them again, because we've had St. Helens, we've had Wakefield. Leigh Leopards might be the next ones to clip us up on TikTok, but I'm going to go with Leeds Rhinos here.
Well, I'm going to go with Leeds Rhinos just because I want Leigh Leopards to bring your TikTok clips. I'm not on TikTok, so I don't. You can say what you like about me on TikTok. You say what you like about me on any platform. I really don't care, but especially on TikTok, I'm not on it.
We're all a bit past caring, aren't we? I had some nice comments this week, Spelzy, actually, from listeners.
Did you?
Yeah, the jungle. I got a few people saying they love the show. I was walking in. And then there were 2 lads from Cast. One of them said, "Oh, I love your stuff, mate." And then his mate went, "Yeah, no surprise you're here when LKR are here." I just thought off at that point. I thought, fair
Great
enough.
work.
Fair enough. I didn't even know what to say.
That is good work. No defence.
Hello to those two, by the way.
Yeah, hello to those two. They're probably having a few words about how rubbish the presenter is, because while I threw to Josh, I realised I didn't even introduce who you two were. So for those that are just listening audio, I've probably got no idea who was in the studio, and I don't want to spoil that mystery.
I think we've got some familiarity within this audience now, Smalesy. I think we're okay.
No, but despite your best efforts to try to kick me off every week, I'm still here, so we're okay.
Yeah, you haven't got the distinguished silky soft tones of myself, clearly, though, that people listening for. Let's move on. Well, I don't know where we're going with this week's podcast. Is the heat in this room? I think it's getting to us. It's certainly getting to.
It is ridiculously hot.
We're all going Leeds, right? Yeah. That's nailed on. Leigh Leopards, clip us up. We dare you. No, it's not Warrington. Hull KR against Wakefield next. On Friday night, the one game in the round where the two teams that won last week are meeting each other. Wakefield, brilliant performance, brilliant result against Wigan, really pushes them firmly into that playoff contention, which they're already in, but now they're firmly in it. Big ask, though, to beat the grand final winners by going and beating the new Challenge Cup winners on their own patch. I'll lead off with this one. I don't see it happening. But I'm fascinated by the game. I think I might go. I'm off on Friday. I think I might have a little visit down to.
I've got to spend an evening with
to Craven Park on Friday. I'll go sit somewhere else. That's fine. But I really like the look of this one. I fancy going and having a little sherbet and watching this one. I'm going to go with Rovers to just do what Rovers do, especially at home, and get the win. But hopefully, Wakefield make it a fantastic game and it's a nice close, tight tussle, Josh.
Yep, Wakefield will take a lot of confidence out of their result and their performance against Wigan. We said it on Monday's podcast. It was brilliant. Darrell Powell side were brilliant against the reigning champions. But in terms of the race of the League Leaders Shield, Destiny's firmly in Hull KR's own hands. They're 4 points ahead. This is another one that they'll just want to win. They had the mentality of that next job, and obviously Wakefield being their next job this week, I think. And in terms of the League Leaders Shield race, that they'll get the job done, I think.
Matt, Mr. KR.
Cheers, Smalesy. Well, you'd be beyond brave to tip against Hull KR at the minute, wouldn't you? Says the guy who tipped against them to lose to Catalans, which went splendidly well.
The viewers enjoyed it, I think, at least some listeners.
We keep talking about banana skins. The week after Challenge Cup thrashed them, and then we're like, it's always the week after the challenge. The week, a bit like
that's what I said. Yeah,
won 48-0.
I've had full faith throughout.
You'd be bordering on insanity to tip it against Hull KR at the minute. Not particularly against Wakefield, just generally.
Yeah.
And I'm not making the same mistake again. I'm really looking forward to seeing Wakefield play LKR and test themselves out against them to see, having beat Wigan, are they genuinely, was that a one-off, or are they genuinely the team that may be the biggest threat to those two if they make the playoffs?
Well,
They could be. So let's see. But are we going for Hull KR, who, by the way, if they win, the club's best ever start to a season since 1895. And if they win, they will have then gone a full calendar year, and the only team they'll have lost to is Wigan, which is an insane stat. A full 12 months, and the only team they will have lost to is Wigan, which I find like a mind-blowing statistic.
Yeah.
So, for the sake of our content that's already pre-written, I hope that Hull KR win the game because I don't want it to go to waste.
Yeah, it should be a good game. And thankfully for you, you're looking forward to it. I've rode you to work, so while I'm sat there with a beer, I'll let you watch me drink it.
Absolutely not. I'll come with you. I can have one with you in Craven Street.
Yeah,
we'll go meet the fans.
Yes, let's do
your
that.
fans.
My people. Yeah,
we'll go meet your people. Yeah, let's move on.
Crowd.
I really like the look. I really like the look of this one as well. I do, but for completely different reasons. Warrington Wolves at home to Hull FC. Warrington lost to Huddersfield Giants. Were rubbish. To quote Josh McAllister, they were rubbish. FC not amazing, but got the job done against Salford. But as we discussed on the previous main show, this is huge for Warrington. This is, it's massive. They lose this, 7 points behind FC in the race for the top 6. That's a massive gulf. So it feels almost knockout-y kind of cup game for Warrington. It's not. There's still a lot of games to play, but it has that sense that they really need to win this one. And FC are tough because away from home, they've won there. They've won at Wigan. Should have beat Leeds. They're a good side away from home, FC. Interested. I'm looking at you both waiting for somebody to stop me talking and come back.
You just keep going. I think it's fair to dub it as Warrington's. It's a must win. They need to win it to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Season alive.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't great against Huddersfield. I don't know what it a mixture of things. And we spoke on Monday's podcast about confidence, and obviously we're not quite sure if we're buying into that. They weren't great. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they fix it this week and manage to put a game together against Hull FC. I might stick my neck out here and actually tip Warrington, which would. I know it's a huge call because I know FC already beat Warrington at their place, but I'm going to go with the Wolves. And I was actually there watching them on Saturday against the Giants, but I can't see it continuing like this. It can't.
Can I just say one thing really quick and then you can come back? He's making it sound like he's coming up with the bravest call of all time. He's backing the team in 8th at home to beat the team in 6th, and he's making it sound.
He'll laugh.
He's making it sound like he's expecting Rochdale to go and win at Wigan.
I'm laughing because I was going to say against all of my better judgment, I was going to
say Warrington as well.
Oh
wow.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say for Warrington is when the chips have been down and the big games have arrived for them this year, they've turned up.
Apart from Vegas, they turned up, but only after 60 minutes had been played.
And this seems to me as right here, right now, their biggest game of the season. So I think they might turn up and.
They've got to turn up.
They can't continue.
I tell you what I will say, if it was at Hull FC, I'd back them to win without hesitation.
Yeah.
I think playing at home is a detriment to Warrington right now because it feels quite toxic, very apathetic. I don't know why I've just got this feeling Warrington will show up.
Okay.
And I wasn't massively impressed with Hull FC on Sunday. They beat Salford.
I don't think John Cartwright was massively impressed with Hull FC.
So I'm still need to see them play really well without Price and Asiata.
Some great clips here for Hull FC's media team and their TikTok. There's another one.
Well, they're going to love this one.
Right, no, I'm going Warrington. Don't tell me you're going Warrington as well.
I'm going to go Hull FC to win this one.
Goodness, that would have been.
They've won there once this season. I think they've more than got it in them. If both teams play anything like, I think FC get the job done. It's just, do FC revert back and throw in one of them really poor performances which they've got in the locker as well? That's my only hesitancy. But I think looking at everything, I'm going FC on this one.
I just think as well with Hull FC, some of their weaker performances have come when they've been expected to win.
Yeah. I don't think there's a massive expectation on them to win this week, though. I genuinely don't. As I just said, it's Warrington at home.
All right.
It's not like...
I don't know.
There's a huge gulf.
It felt like a brave call to make.
I'm going against my better judgment for a Warrington win here.
All right. Here's one, which might be tough to call. Catalan at home to Huddersfield Giants. 9th against 11th. Giants on the back of a great win against Warrington. Catalan, little bit improved against Leigh, but still not great. But they're at home. Huddersfield, I know they've got the win, but... still in a tough situation.
Lost a few though, didn't they, at the weekend? Ollie Wilson didn't play. Don't think he'll play again. Who's probably the best forward. Sam Hewitt went off early with HIA.
And that's the tricky thing of filming this when we're not going to see the squad.
No. Joe Greenwood got injured as well, I think. So Catalans were better. Huddersfield have been better for a while with the odd slip up. I'll go Catalan.
Josh?
I don't fancy either, but I'll go Catalan.
I was quite impressed with Huddersfield, obviously picking up just their second win of the season, obviously after running Wigan so close. I'll make things a little bit interesting and go with Huddersfield.
It's very unlike you to make anything interesting. I'm going to go with Matt. I'm going to go Catalan. And then let's just move on from that massive dig at you and just roll straight
That-
into...
That felt, even
That hurt.
even by my low tolerance, that felt a bit harsh. That one.
It did feel harsh as it was coming out of my mouth, but then as I slowly thought about it, I thought, but justified, so we'll carry on. Castleford in 10th against the beaten Wigan Warriors, as Josh has been calling them around the office. No, Castleford in 10th against Wigan. It's still in 2nd. Listen, surprise loss to Huddersfield. Wakefield, sorry. Surprise loss to Wakefield.
He's trying to line up the next insult in his head rather than thinking of who's playing with.
That's my problem. No,
Surprise loss. Predictions.
Surprise loss for
Josh as
Wigan.
a presenter.
Someone actually put a comment in the other way, didn't he? Saying, give it to Josh for a week.
I think it even got 3 likes.
Yeah.
Thanks,
your
mum, dad, sister.
Dad, yeah.
And yourself, don't lie.
I was the comment. It was a burner account.
Right.
Sorry.
For the 4th time, Castleford at home to Wigan. Wigan are going to be better. They just are, and I think anyone that sits here and says we're gonna put in another performance like that are brave, and certainly braver than us. Castleford, just against Solskjaer showed that where they're at. You know, we start thinking, oh, hang on, they're getting better, and they have, and they've added recruitments, but still they're a long way off when they're playing the teams at the top. Surely this is a Warriors return to the winning circle.
You said everything that needs to be said. We can win.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny that before we came on air, actually, you two were here, I was on my own, and they said, let's just do it, just you. And I said,
A one-man prediction show.
it'd make more sense. We'd get through it quicker. It'd be 6 out of 6. Job done. Let's move on. I think we were in agreement, are we? Because we've been talking rubbish for ages now. In agreement on Wigan. Wigan win?
Yep, and Matt Pete said that Wakefield defeat will do him good, I think, in terms of intensity, so I think they'll lift it this week. I think Wigan win this one easily.
Speaking of winning easily, St Helens against Salford. I mean, it's a long time ago.
Oh, right. Sorry. Come on. Segue. Come on.
I was just going to say, it's a long time since we've backed Salford to win a game. I don't see...
Oh, actually, I should have just butted in. I thought you were going to go back to the 82-0 reference and go, I thought, sorry. I don't think Saints will win easy.
Well, they only played him a fortnight ago, and they beat him 40 points plus.
Well, I don't count that as easy anymore for Salford. I'm like 80's easy.
Yeah.
But
it won't be. Yeah. So
it's not going to be like the start of the season,
No.
but that was Salford playing kids.
I was actually quite impressed with Salford at the weekend. I thought that were better for them. Not much more spirit, but a little bit more about them beyond spirit. But they're still a long way off. So yeah, Saints with a comfortable win.
Yep, they did it.
If the game takes place, as long as HMRC don't call time on Salford.
Yes.
Which hopefully, and I'm confident won't happen. But HMRC don't mess about, so here's hoping. What a lovely note.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that one. But yeah, Saints beat him 2 weeks ago at Salford Community Stadium, and I think Saints beat him this time as well by 40 points.
I agree. House of League bringing joy into your lives once again with a happy ending.
I'm that cheery now.
Happy ending there, which could also bring me to another joke, which I'm going to leave behind because it's a family show. On that happy note, we will say goodbye for this week. We will be back next week with our usual show on the Monday. We look forward to seeing you all then. But for now, thanks for being with us, everyone.